Welcome everyone. Today at Fermenti Mountain we will be preserving Meyer lemons. This is a very exciting ferment that I enjoy doing in my home frequently for my family to enjoy. It is a delicacy that can range from anywhere from just eating the rinds by themselves, sometimes paired with fish or chicken. I also like to use the pith and the inside in recipes for salad dressing mix, marinades, ice creams, sauces, things like that. It's a wonderful home ferment to do, and I'm excited to share it with you today. So first off, let's go over all of our components that are going to be required today. We of course have a spoon to spoon the salt into the lemons. We have a knife to cut the lemons. We have a wide mouth quart jar and a weight, which is our 4-ounce jelly jar from our kit. We are not using per se the kit today, although we are using components of it. We will also be using a lid, just a 2-piece ball lid that comes with most wide mouth jars. So you're just using something you already have. And then of course, Meyer lemons. You can use any type of lemon if you so choose, but just be aware that the rind is what you're trying to make edible in this recipe. So the thicker or more bitter the rind, the thicker, more bitter your preserved lemon will be. So let's get started. The sea salt we have here is just sea salt. I believe it's from Eden Foods, who we love. And a lot of people ask me if there's a certain amount of salt, and no is my answer. I choose to do it intuitively, so I will go through that here as we proceed. So I'm going to remove these items from the cutting board, and let's get started cutting the lemons. Now, when you pick your lemons, make sure they're firm but ripe and ready. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this end that is attached, there you go, to the tree. So we're going to cut that off. Here we go. Sorry everyone, my sweet dog came in here. Hey Zula, watch out. So we cut off. That's another reason I like to have the kit, folks, is when you're doing lacto fermentation, it keeps things like your lovely dog hanging out with you out of the spotlight. So here, look at that beautiful juice we have here. So we're going to cut the lemon, but not all the way through. So we're going to quarter it. Here we go. And see how it's not all the way through. And we're going to do that again. And these are so bright and vibrant. And so now here's the start. So we're going to take our quart jar, and I'm going to take a spoonful of salt and just dump it in there. And then I'm going to take my lemon, and I'm going to open it up like a flower, and I'm going to take another spoonful of salt and just dump it right in on top, so everybody can see. It's just dumped right in there, and then we're going to dump that in the jar. Okay, now we're going to proceed in the same manner with all the lemons. So here we're going to cut that off. Here we go, and we're going to cut in quarters, not all the way through, but a good way. Here we go. And now we're going to take just a spoonful of salt. And a lot of people ask me about measurements, and exactness, and as you can see, I'm being anything but exact. I'm just taking a spoonful and dumping it in. So now at this point what I like to do is I like to mush those lemons down. And as I mush those lemons down, as you can see, their juice is being released. And it's nice and squishy, and they're already soft, very pretty. So here we go. And we've got nice juice release on that. So now we add the next lemon. Okay, we cut off that little tip. There we go. Cut them in quarters. Here we go. Oh man, these are so beautifully juicy. So much fun. So here we go. Open it up. And then dump that salt in. And just put her in the jar. Okay, let's do another one. Here we go. Now, some people ask me, should I be worried about the seeds? And at this point, no. The only time I worry about there being seeds is during consumption, like when I choose to consume them. If the recipe I want to use them for, I don't want to have the seeds in it, that's when I filter them out. Look at how beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, these are very juicy. Huh. So here we go. Let's take another one. This is lemon number 5 in my quart jar, because that's another thing people ask, is how many lemons per jar. And I will say that every jar is slightly different. Every batch of preserved lemons is slightly different. Some jars you can fit more lemons in depending on the size of the lemons. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to really very gently squeeze and use gentle pressure. There's no need to get overly vigorous or aggressive. You just want to help them to break down and release their juice into the jar. So there we go. Now, sometimes I like to add just a little bit more salt on top. Because as you're doing preserved lemons, you're actually technically not lacto-fermenting at this point. You are salt curing because you're going above 5% salinity. So here we go. Now we're going to take our little 4-ounce jelly jar, which is going to act as a weight to hold the lemons underneath the brine. And so here we go. We're going to place that in and very gently press that down until it fits. There we go, very gently and very slowly. And it looks like we might have some brine come up and out. So I'm going to remove my extra lemons. I might even have enough here to do a second quart. And at this point, I'm going to use a bowl to catch the excess as it overflows. All right. So we have that, and that's another reason, did you see that? That's another reason I really like to have the 4-ounce jelly jars, is if there's ever any extra overflowing brine, it overflows into the jar, which is always nice because then you don't lose any brine. All right. So now there are a few floating seeds, which just because they're just gonna annoy me. I'll take them out. Here we go. So here we go. And they fit beautifully right inside. And now at this point, you don't need an airlock, as with lacto fermentation. You just need a good, clean, solid lid. Woo! We're doing acrobatics here, folks. Sorry. So here we go. We're going to put that lid with the band on top. And then I'm going to take my trusty towel, and I'm going to wipe my hands and just clean my outside of my jar. Here we go. Very nice, very pretty. Okay. So we're going to move this out of our way and check it out. This is preserved lemons in a quart jar. So maybe you can see the striations of the salt against the peels. And of course you see the brine, which is basically a mixture of this sea salt and the lemon juice that well covers all of the rind. Because anything above the brine level will mold, despite the fact that it's being salt cured. So isn't it lovely? Bright and vibrant. It's fun to do for summers. It's a perfect recipe to accompany any summer picnic. Charcuterie boards, anything really. It's quite delicious. So what we're going to do now is we're going to allow this to sit outside of direct heat or direct cold. We want it to be relatively temperature stable. Again, as with lacto fermentation, I do enjoy about 70-75 degrees. You want it out of direct sunlight. You don't necessarily need to put it in a bowl, as with lactic fermentation, because there's no real off-gassing that's going to push that brine up and out. But if you are in the habit with your lacto ferments to do that, it certainly does not hurt. I like to just put it in a cabinet or on the back of my counter because it is indeed quite beautiful. So these will be done, I like to say, with preserved lemons, anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks is my personal preference. Some people enjoy them done longer, but that is the basics of preserving lemons, in this case Meyer lemons. And I want to thank you for your time today. If you've enjoyed this video, I will ask for you to please like, share, comment. You can email me at fermentifoods@gmail.com if there's another video you would like to see. We are here for you to aid your home preservation and fermentation adventures. So again, thank you for your time, and I hope you'll join us again later. I believe one of our next ferments will be a honey ferment of honey fermented garlic. I had a request for that recently, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, Fermenti is here for you. We appreciate your time. Be well and keep fermenting.